Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Manny and Shawn Experience podcast. This is episode 99. We have a lot to talk about. We took a trip and we came back to a country in despair. Coming up next on the Manny and Shawn Experience podcast.
One, two, three, four.
Hey there, welcome back. My name is Manny.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the Manny and Shawn Experience podcast. Welcome back. Great to have you with us. After our last episode where we confessed all of our, what am I trying to say? All of our depression about the podcast. We hope all of you out there are doing well and taking care of yourself in the madness that is 2025.
I don't think that was depression. I think that was just truth. Like, we were speaking our truth.
Speaking our truth, and that's all we encourage here on our podcast. I got my haircut today, y'all. I didn't do it for you. It's just fresh out the barber. But how are you doing, sir? Oh, he's yawning. Tired is the word.
I am tired. Like, when I get back usually when we get back from a long trip or from overseas where there's a time difference, I just jump right back into routine, which you have to. And I did, but I've just been very tired.
Well, I mean, you did celebrate a birthday recently, so, you know, as you get older, it becomes...
That's funny. Because you've been tired too. So
I have not.
yes, you have.
I've been fine.
Okay.
I've been tired too, yeah. I don't know what it was. We didn't do anything different
No.
on coming back. We actually gave ourselves a day of rest, which we usually don't get after we come back.
That's true. We did, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go to work and then just crashing.
Yeah. More to come as we adjust back to the America.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, work has been super busy this week, and we worked while we were in London, so I don't know why it felt so busy, but yeah, it's been busy, but it's been good. Things getting accomplished, and yeah.
Cute. So today we're gonna talk about some things that have been going on in the world. We're gonna talk a little bit about our London trip, and we will do all of that on the other side of the mixtape.
Lego.
You're in the mix.
Hey everyone, welcome to the mixtape. For those of you who may be new here, the mixtape is where we usually get into our main topics for the podcast. And we took a week-long trip to London.
London. How come every time I come around, I always do that.
Hey, you did.
I need another song. London Bridge is falling down.
It's the same song.
Down.
It's
Oh,
basically the same song.
okay. Well, that's all I got.
Okay. So we had two purposes for this trip. Well, maybe three. We were going to a music festival,
Yes.
which was our first music festival ever. It was called Mighty Hoopla. We were going to see Beyoncé and the Cowboy Carter tour. And we were also going to Thorpe Park, which is the first amusement park we've been to in Europe.
Yeah. Outside of the United States of America.
I said Europe. So what do you want to talk about first?
I guess Mighty Hoopla, which is really a very inclusive, queer-friendly music festival.
Queer leaning.
Queer leaning? What did I say?
No, what you said wasn't wrong.
Oh.
You said queer friendly, which it is very queer friendly. I feel like it leans more queer than it does straight.
Oh, that's true. a gay music festival called Mighty Hoopla. Yeah, it was a place for all of the letters to come out and coincide and have a wonderful time together.
Yeah.
I've never been to a music festival, first of all. Second of all, I haven't seen so many members of our community in one place together at at one time.
There was, for me, it was the fashions.
Yes.
Because a music festival, usually from what I see, and we do have friends that go to music festivals, and we see their Instagrams, and we're like, oh, there's like a unique fashion sense there.
Usually colorful or dark,
Yes. All different types of things.
revealing.
And so we decided to go with mesh because mesh seems to be fairly popular.
And it's breathable.
And it's breathable because it was going to be very hot that day, which it was.
Well, hot for London.
Hot for London, correct.
Manny's hot anytime the temperature goes above 71. So,
Definitely hot for London. But just walking into the place and seeing what people were wearing, there were so many different things. Someone had on a ball gown, for instance, like a full-ass ball gown.
I don't know how that lasted all day.
I don't either. We saw a young man who was struggling in these high-heel pink leather pumps. And I was like, how is he going to make it through the day? We just started, and I feel like he's already walking around like Bambi at the beginning of the movie.
People were sacrificing for fashion.
I guess. But like, I'm like, you're outside all day, and it's grassy, and the terrain isn't level.
Not sturdy at all.
And I'm just like,
heels.
why? I get it. You look fab, but how are you going to be in all of this all day?
Can't say I saw them again.
I can't either. I don't remember seeing them again.
I didn't either.
There were just so many different things happening. Go ahead.
Jinx again.
I saw these two, I don't know if they were a couple or not, but they would dress up like Omni-Man and Invincible from the show Invincible, and they pulled it off really well. But again, how are you in this hot-ass superhero costume the whole time?
I mean, I was wearing mesh and some very breathable shorts, and I was still like, it's really hot out here. But if you've never been, never heard of it, and you are part of the community or an ally of the community and you love music festivals, I'd recommend this one. I mean, it's my first one, so what the hell do I know? But it was such a great experience just to be around people of our community. You could be yourself, didn't have to worry about judgmental looks of course it's not in America, so that's not a big deal over there either. But yeah, it was just a place to be free. I think they did a great job organizing it.
Organization was fabulous. From like, there was places to get water. There was bars all over. Duh. There was food trucks spread throughout.
Good food too. It wasn't like
food.
Bad food. I fucking had paella,
which was really good,
out of a fucking food truck. I was just like, yeah, all right.
I was basic and got a smash burger, but it was cooked fresh and served with hot, fresh fries, and I was delighted.
Yeah,
it was delicious.
Drinks were good. I mean, they did a lot of like canned drinks, and I'm sure that's because of just fast. You just move people through the lines a lot quicker when you're doing
fast and sustainable. The one thing I will say about London, I can't speak for the rest of Europe, but like they were really big on recycling.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty big
for Europe,
anywhere in like the European Union, which I know the UK took themselves out, but the European Union itself.
But everywhere around Mighty Hoopla, even though people still threw their trash on the ground, there was a recycling receptacle for plastic, for aluminum, and there was a receptacle for just trash. There was a receptacle for food. So like, they're really big about, hey girl, you don't have to put your shit on the floor. Like there are receptacles here. Yeah. And we try to make it as easy as possible. Also, their bathroom situation,
I never waited for a bathroom,
Loved it.
which I thought I would.
Right. They had porta potties, but they were not your typical porta potty. They were a little upgraded porta potties.
It was a little bigger.
Yeah.
No air conditioning though.
They also had troughs for the men. If you just couldn't wait, you could just go pee in a trough.
And for the first time ever, I read Mighty Hoopla introduce urinals for women.
Yes. I forget what they're called.
I forgot what they were called, but apparently this has been like a contentious thing where, like, not to be vulgar, but a man, could just pop it out and
Pee wherever.
where women have to wait for somewhere to physically sit. And
Right.
so they created these for women at a certain section or maybe it was throughout. I can't remember. And
I went to 2 different bathroom sections, and both of them had the thing for the women.
from what I saw, like, people were really excited. Women were very excited about it.
Because what is the longest line anywhere at an event is the women's bathroom. Spoiler alert, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. But when we went to go see Beyonce and I went to the bathroom, there was women in there waiting for the stall because the line for their bathroom was fucking long.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me. I walked in and I'm going towards the urinal and I'm like, did I walk into the wrong bathroom? I'm like, there's women in line. And then I got self-conscious because I'm like, I'm going to turn and face the wall because, like, they're within directional of the urinals to look inside. And I'm like, I feel like I'm on a show here and I did not sign up for that. But anyways, back to Mighty Hoopla.
But yeah, I thought that was, again, the coordination was top tier. They did a really good job. Everything from getting in to where events were going to be, because they were spread all out. There was a great map that you could look at. They had an app.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth getting out too.
Yeah.
Which we thought was going to be a nightmare.
A nightmare, but it wasn't.
Yeah. But overall, the festival's great. So if you're interested in music festivals, our highlights to go see were, for me, obviously was JoJo, not See While. The Get Out JoJo. I feel like I always have to clarify that because people look at me like, you went to see JoJo? I'm like, there is more than one JoJo, and that JoJo was here before the other JoJo.
Yeah, that's a lot of JoJo.
But so I was excited to see JoJo, and then Ciara was there as well, which we fell more in love when we saw her on the Missy tour last year. So we were excited to see her. We saw Tom Rasmussen, who's a member of the LGBTQ plus community, did drag, I think, before. Saw him perform as well. I think one of my most favorite stages was actually where they featured just LGBTQ plus artists, like drag queens, drag kings.
Oh, that first stage.
Yes, that was one of my most favorite places to be, because I'm like, we're giving people a stage at a big music festival, an opportunity to shine and show their art and their creation.
And it was always busy over there.
Busy, and the Drag King show we saw was
pretty good.
I thought it was better than pretty good.
Okay, it was good.
I thought it was great. Like, these people were dancing their ass off, and it's like, okay, it's hot for London, 78 degrees.
Look, we were one of the first ones over in that area because it was like when we first walked in, and the DJ was just playing music, and they started playing Janet If, the Kitchenada remix.
Yes.
And so I started dancing to it, and then the drag queen came out and like was talking to me because like I was the only one over there dancing.
Sweetie, she was talking to me too.
Okay, she was talking to both of us. But we stayed over there for a bit, and it was lit, and it got more people kept coming and coming and coming.
Yeah, so there was a rotation of LGBTQ plus performers that were featured on that stage. There was another stage where people were doing like what's it, like the ballroom type of dances.
Yeah.
I felt bad for them because it seems like they were on every 30 minutes.
Yeah, they were. Every time we walked by there, I felt like they would perform.
I'm like, y'all need a break. It's hot.
Yeah.
But it was just great. I learned of a new artist. Omar something. It's RUD. I actually don't know how to say his last name. if I'm being-
Rodriguez.
It's not Rodriguez. Don't do that to him. Do you know how? Rudberg. Omar Rudberg. I think that's right. Rudberg. I learned a new artist. Like, he was on one of the earlier performance times on the main stage, and I was like, oh, this is a vibe. This is some vibey music. And now that I'm back here, I've listened to all his music, and I'm like, I like his music.
Yeah, we heard a lot of people playing as we walked by. It might not have been someone that we were there to see, but that's the great thing about a music festival. You might hear something and be like, oh, who is that? Let me check them out. We also saw Jade from afar, who was a part of Little Mix, if you know who that group is, at one point. We saw Danny Minogue.
We did.
She didn't sing.
She didn't sing, and that was good.
She was there because she's the host of a show called I Kissed the Boy.
Or I Kissed the Girl.
Or I Kissed the Girl. You can watch it on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu?
Yeah, I think it's on Hulu.
I don't think that's on Hulu. Is it on?
I feel like it's on Hulu.
Okay.
If it's not on Hulu, I'm sorry.
I thought it was on a British channel that we're watching.
I think it's on Hulu too.
Okay.
Look, go find it. Just type in I Kissed the Boy if you really want to see it. It's basically like the old school shows that we used to watch, like Flavor of Love or whatever the fuck. But in this case, they match two gay men together. They have a kiss before they even speak, and that's your match. And then you live in this masseria, and you got to figure out if y'all a match or not for real. They have a kiss off. That means you either kiss the person and you want to stay together, or you don't kiss them. And that means you want to kiss somebody else.
Yeah.
It's good gay fun.
It's fun, Sean. It's a fun Sean.
It's a fun Sean. It's good gay fun.
It's a great show. But she came out, surprised us. Daniel Bedingfield was there. I'm going to get through this. We did not watch him.
We did not watch him. We heard he was terrible.
We did.
For those of you who don't know, Danny Minogue is the sister of Kylie Minogue. And just in case you didn't know who that was.
I thought everybody knew that.
I don't think they do.
But there was a lot of great artists there. I mean, the festivity started like 1 or 2 and ran into almost 10 o'clock at night. So
yeah,
there was lots of different performers. We didn't get to all of them. You rode some like...
Oh, the swings. Yeah, they had some like amusement fair type rides, and I got on the swings, and it was a lot of fun. It went really high.
It went really high. I was just like, I'd rather not. But great time at Mighty Hoopla. I'm kind of excited to see who's going to perform next year.
There's a rumor.
There's a rumor.
That
rumor has it
Jennifer L. Lopez, I don't know her middle name.
Jennifer Lopez, or J to the L-O,
will be headlining 2025's Mighty Hoopla.
Yeah, 26.
I'm sorry, 2026.
2026 Mighty Hoopla. We shall see.
We'll see.
But it was great to see JoJo live for the first time. Like, Manny learned that at a festival, he cannot be motivated to go into the crowd to watch a performance, because I learned that music festivals, people are only here to hear 1 or 2 songs that they know of said artist.
And then they get out.
And then they're sitting there talking throughout the performance.
Or smoking right in front of you.
So I'm a huge JoJo fan. And she was playing songs from her new album. And I was like, oh my God, everybody is talking. And I just want to sing along and see her. And I was just so annoyed. So I've learned, keep your ass back a little further from the action.
Yeah, because the screens were perfect. Because when we watched Ciara, we stayed back. And we just watched on the screen. We could still see the stage.
We could see the stage. We could see the performance. We could hear the performance.
Yeah.
And we danced from a distance.
I didn't need to be like right there in the midst of everybody.
Honestly, where I was, I thought I was going to see. I couldn't see either because I'm short. So that also was an impact. But a great time at Mighty Hoopla.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
Briefly, we went to Thorpe Park. They have quite a few roller coasters there.
Yeah.
We did all of them except one.
Wow.
The flying fish. Sean
did all of them.
Me and Alex did. Manny kind of tapped out.
Manny discovered he is geriatric when it comes to roller coasters, and he tapped out at 5.
So the first coaster we got on was a coaster themed after Saw the movie.
Oh my god!
And
It was a fun ride.
it was a fun ride. Like the queue line was very much, oh my god, we're in an abandoned warehouse. There's props and all that shit. And the ride cars are just like 2 rows. And I was like, I thought it was longer than this, but it wasn't. But for it to be such a small ride, it packs a big punch.
Huge punch. And I was like, wow, I'm already in pain. This is ride 1.
One of the highlight coasters was Hyperion, which is their newest coaster. It is also their tallest and fastest. Yeah. And I think that one really did you in.
Yeah, that one, that one blessed me. The G's, it's the G's.
And that's what the ride is known for. It is known for how many G forces it gives you, how much airtime it gives you, and my God, does it give it.
Saw was more like my head banging onto the armrest or the shoulder harness.
Yeah.
Hyperia was like, hey, bitch, these G's are breaking your back. And when they went to the next one, I said, I'm just going to sit down on this bench and y'all go ahead and have fun. But a highlight of me for Thorpe Park was
the ghost train.
I have 2, Shawn.
Oh.
And you please not spoil my surprises. God damn.
Go ahead.
Number 1 was the Walking Dead roller coaster. They have a Walking Dead ride.
It's kind of like Space Mountain, but with zombies.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. Everybody else was looking at me like he enjoyed that a little too much. And then a ride everybody was really looking at me like I enjoyed too much was Ghost Train. And there's some story about a ghost and taking the last train and that it's haunted, blah, blah, blah. They did a really good job with the pre-show, I think.
Yeah.
And then you board an actual train. And all hell breaks loose on the train. There's actors screaming and hollering. We're possessed. Then we get off the train. And then like some demon comes out of the sky. And some other demon comes out. I didn't even see him come out of the ground. And then all of a sudden we have to run back to the train. They're like telling us to run. We run back to the train. Train's possessed again. All of a sudden everything shuts off. And there's like this, all these nuns, dead haunted nuns appear off the train. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I had a fucking blast. And then all of a sudden you arrive back to the station and everything's good.
Yeah. And then you got to get off.
That was the highlight for me. I did enjoy, okay, I don't know how much I can say I enjoyed. Hyperion is an amazing roller coaster.
Oh, it is.
It is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the way they designed the seats, that bank turn from the very top is something I've never experienced before.
No.
There was another one that had I forgot what it was called, but the one that went very slow, upside down, like 6 times.
Oh, Colossus.
Oh, that.
She was the old girl.
In theory, I was like, this is really cool.
It was cool.
In actuality, I was like, I need to get off.
She was an old girl.
My neck and back tore up on that.
It says right in front of when you sit down, it's like you have to brace yourself this whole time.
I couldn't even brace.
I couldn't either. Like it was literally like.
I'm like, how do I put my neck back to this head?
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't. I guess I'm downgraded to Disney World rides.
I tried to enjoy that one, and it was fun, but I was like, I want to get off.
Yeah,
she's too old.
Listen, if your back isn't broken, definitely go to Thorpe Park and enjoy it. There was another coaster you got on, the alien one.
Oh, Swarm. That one was so fun.
It's so unique. I've never seen it here. Like there's 2 carts and then the middle is the roller coaster on the track.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be such an amazing experience, but I just did not want to chance it anymore. The journey back home was a little bit long. I'm just like, I need to get ready for that.
Swarm was very fun. It was very smooth. It was this basically like aliens attack this village or whatever, and the coaster is set up inside of the church that like the spaceship came through. It's so fun.
Ugh, maybe I should have gotten on and just took one for the team.
You can watch a YouTube video. It's fine.
Okay.
Unless we go back to Thorpe Park, which I don't think we'll be doing.
I don't think so.
But yeah, that was Thorpe Park.
That was Thorpe Park. One thing we didn't say, we did go to an improv show to see Alex's friends, which are now our friends, perform in her first
Stand-up show.
stand-up, which was really fun. Like, there was some really... Like, I've been to improv shows before, and I'm like, oh, boy. But improv shows, like, from a class. Like,
Yeah.
so this was like a level 1 course, and I've gone to some before, and I'm like, oh, geez. This one, I would say about 90% of the performers were spot on.
Yeah, you're always going to have a few duds.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But even some of the duds had their funny moments.
They just didn't know when to stop.
Yeah.
One dud for sure was like, you should have stopped.
You should have
5 jokes
stopped, bro.
ago.
You should have stopped, but you kept going.
You lost people.
And
after
you lost
that.
us.
But that was fun, and I just wanted to shout out to Bryony. Not sure if you listen. I don't expect you to, but you did an awesome job.
Yeah, that was
just
amazing.
She did that. She was so nervous.
Yeah.
She went out there like a natural.
So we went to go see Miss Carter in her tour.
First of all, can I say, it is weird being in a stadium when the show begins and it is still daylight.
For those of you who don't know, the sun rises at like 4 something in the morning in London, and it sets.
At least when we were there, yeah.
Yeah, at least when we were there, and it sets around 9. So
9:45.
Okay, 9:45 ish, 9:30, 9:45. So you get a ton of sun the whole day.
Yeah, the first day there, I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, what time is it?
Right,
I'm
I
like,
woke up and I looked at my phone and I was like, bitch, it's
5
like
a.m.
5:30 in the morning. Why is the sun so bright right now? But yeah, so we went to go see Beyonce.
I can't say the stadium. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Tottenham.
I don't know. Like, people were schooling people on TikTok.
Yeah,
Because I saw somebody else's TikTok. It was an American that went to see it.
yeah,
And she was just raving about this
stadium.
And then the locals were like, you're saying the name wrong.
Well, girl, look, the name of the stadium starts with a T, and
Tottenham.
I'm not even gonna try now.
Yeah, it is one of the premier soccer league stadiums, and actually, NFL teams occasionally go over there and play. 'Cause that's the thing now.
So the train travel there was tricky because everybody was going
Sweaty.
to the same fucking place.
Hot and sweaty.
But it was also kind of fun because everybody was dressed up in their I wasn't sure what London was going to show out with for Beyonce. I have seen clips of London for Renaissance and people were dressing up. So I was like, yeah, maybe they'll get into it. And they did. They really did. So we got there, and I have to say, this stadium and the setup and the coordination was so seamless.
And we have been to
Plenty of shows here in America
Raymond
at different
James.
stadiums.
We've been to the Camping World in Orlando.
This was seamless. I wasn't sure where I should go in. I asked the young man who was working there. He pointed me in the direction, told me where I needed to go. I went there. There was a man there. I showed him friendly people. No one was upset. No one was angry. No one gave attitude. Showed him my ticket. And he was like, yep, you're in the right place. He was like, pick any corridor you want. And I was like, can I go on this one? He was like, yep. Because there was no one there. There was no one in that corridor. There were other people going to other corridors, but I'm just like, let's go to this one.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that
I'm
in such
sorry.
detail.
It was so, security was easy. They had to scan the tickets twice, which was a little strange, but like, I guess.
I guess it's a layer of like, did you get past the first checkpoint?
Right. And then once we were in there, lines for merch, lines for food and drink. So easy.
So easy. I'm not exaggerating. Like, even as the evening went on and got a little busier, I don't know, it's just so spaced out.
Yeah.
The way they built that stadium, that it just spreads people across.
Right.
Whereas like when I think of Raymond James here, of course it's an older stadium. That could be an issue too. Like everything's like concentrated in one section. So everybody is like mobbing in one area. And then that limits where you can put merchandise.
Yeah.
Whereas in this stadium, I guess they have enough space. It almost looks like they built in with the idea of merch.
Yeah.
And there was merch, I'd say maybe 6 different stands. And not to include, Beyonce has a whole store that she's traveling with. And that was below the stadium, which I learned what that was later on. You could actually get customized shirts there. But anyways, moving on.
The longest line I waited in was the one that had the signature drink. And then I get to the front and they didn't have the signature drink, which annoyed me, but that's besides the point. Once we were in our seats, we were amazed because it's one great view.
Yeah.
I love the way that the seats are raised and spaced. I love how that the rows don't feel like, oh my God, someone's on top of me.
Yeah.
Like, I seeing concerts in there, I see why people go there.
Yeah, and it's funny because you and I talked about that. And then I saw the TikTok where this person was like, I will never go to another, and they're from America.
Yeah.
They're like, I will never go to another stadium again. Because the way, like Sean said, the way it's built, I don't understand it. I think instead of building outward, they built upwards. So it almost feels like everybody has a good view onto the field, but it also levels people to where people aren't in your way.
Yes.
If that
So
makes
people standing up in front of you don't necessarily block you.
Yeah.
Like they are kind of high enough that they're above your head. So you're not messing with anyone's line of sight.
No. And it was new for me because I'm a very short person. Anytime I go to a concert, I'm like someone on my tippy toes. I got to put my phone above my head to record. And I didn't have to do any of that in this stadium. And I thought it was just maybe where we were sitting. But then I saw somebody else on TikTok that was talking about the stadium too. And I'm like, okay. And then the field itself, I don't know if it has to do with the sport. It just felt like no matter where you were, this person was kind of where we're going to be sitting for Bad Bunny. Mm-hmm. And they had a straight on view and it looked just as good.
Right.
So this stadium was built obviously for soccer, but I feel like it also had in the thought mind process concerts because I felt like it was in a premium seat without paying premium price.
I feel like that wasn't a bad seat in the house.
No, not at all.
Granted, some of them might have been obscured because of some of the equipment, but most of those seats were not occupied.
No, they didn't sell those.
So, yeah, I don't know. Fabulous seat.
Fabulous state. I'm excited to go see Bad Bunny in it.
Yeah, we're going to see Bad Bunny next year in that same stadium. So
I'm just like, okay, so it's going to be a good seat.
It's going to be a good seat. We're not going to talk a lot about Beyonce. The show was amazing.
Because we talked about it last time. But
yes.
It did confirm a lot of things we talked about.
It did. The show was amazing. It was empowering.
It was political.
It was political without saying that it was political. The transition from American Requiem into Freedom is just...
I thought that was national anthem. And then...
Yeah, it's national anthem. You're right. All of it was amazing. Period.
We clarified the national anthem thing, which we talked about last time because people were annoyed about it. She sang parts of it, and then the visuals that go along with it explain more of why she's singing it. And then it stops on a screen, and I don't remember exactly something about.
You don't have to ask for permission for what already belongs to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And then she went into the song "Freedom." I was just chills.
That transition was everything, but also the way everybody in that stadium was just like.
I don't know why I had this obscure thought of what a concert in London would be. Now I'm excited for Bad Bunny to see what it's like. But like these people were Beyonce fans. And
yes.
I say this because when we go to Beyonce concert, any other concert here, people go for specific songs.
Yeah.
almost like music festival.
When we went to see Renaissance, the people in front of us sat down for like half of the new song.
Right. I didn't see, at least in my section, a point or time where people were bored. Bored's not the right word. Not connecting with the music because it's not what they came to hear. From Cowboy Carter to Renaissance to all of her other albums before where she played snippets of, everybody was into it.
Everybody was into it. Everyone understood the assignment. We had the mute challenge. Everybody knew to shut the fuck up.
Girl,
it was great.
She gave us a mini Renaissance and I thought I was going to die.
Manny recorded the whole section.
It was 16 minutes. Like, it brought so much memories of that tour that you and I just absolutely till today will rave about. I think Cowboy Carter's tour tipped it a little bit, or maybe they're on the same level.
Look, Beyonce pulls some stunts and tricks in this show and I know people have seen the flying on the horseshoe, flying in the car, her sitting down in the robot pouring her a glass of her whiskey. I can't. The visuals on the screen, the interludes, the mixes, I can't.
The visuals told the story of America that once was. It told the story of how Black and brown people, their struggles, their come up in their influences in country music or music in general. There was one point, I know we didn't want to talk too much, but there was a point where there was two girls out and it looked like they were playing like traditional Mexican mariachi type instruments. Mm-hmm. And that might be a terrible descriptor, but that stood out to me because it talks to how she's trying to make a point that country is not, and I hate to say this, is not white American.
No, genres are for everyone and anybody can play any genre they want.
So by her integrating some of that Latin influences instrumentation in her set, it just touched on how the music is for everybody and it's not a specific race that owns any particular music.
For me, it was when she was singing Formation and she got to the part where she was like, they'll never take the country out of me, and then she just paused. The music stopped and everybody cheered and she did it. She said it one more time with her chest and I was like, yeah. I've been country. This isn't new to me.
It was an amazing show.
It was.
I would say maybe it's 0.50 above Renaissance, only because there was so much emotional connection to history in that show. And goddamn, Renaissance did too.
They both did.
I must say both of them shows are on the same fucking level. Different structures.
Just different, yeah.
When she hit us back with Renaissance, she used the intro of Renaissance.
Yeah, the exact intro.
That place erupted in the stadium.
Because I thought we would get like a couple of songs, yeah. But like for her to like basically do the intro of the Renaissance section of the Renaissance tour and say, welcome to the Renaissance.
Welcome to the Renaissance. I was just like, no way, she's not doing this to her. She's not doing this to us right now. And it had finally gotten dark.
Yeah.
So all the lights in the stadium were lighting up. I was just like, oh man, she timed this.
Renaissance. I was like, oh my God.
I mean, so we celebrated Black and brown culture in country music. We gave an homage to the LGBTQ plus community. I've said it before. You've said it before. Beyonce may not speak out, but she will do it through her music.
Yeah.
And her performances.
Yeah. Okay.
If you have an opportunity to buy yourself a ticket, I suggest you do it.
Yeah.
There ain't many shows left.
No, there's not. So let's get on it.
By the time this comes out, I think it's just Atlanta, Houston,
and Vegas.
Don't miss Cowboy Carter.
So yeah, that was our trip to London.
We had fun with friends. We had great food. Mm-hmm. It was a busy trip.
It was a busy
And then we
trip.
worked one day. So yeah.
But then we came back to the good old US of A.
Which surprisingly, immigration was very fast.
It was very fast.
Sean and I were ready because, we've been schooled before. We had our passports out. Sean is like stretching his arm even before he gets to the podium. And the man's like, stop right there. Takes a picture of him, tells me to get into the camera. Do you guys bring anything? Blah, 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 blah. Nope. All right, go. I was like, oh.
It's great.
We've changed the way we now come into the
We have changed.
and I applaud it.
We did.
But Europe still got your ass beat on
They
entry into the country. Sorry. Well, we came back to America and we just have so many opinions and feelings in just 5 short days of being back. And we will take it all on in our point of view. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Manny and Shawn Experience POV. This is our POV. And if you're new here, this is where we're giving you all the point of view that you may or may not agree with.
So the first thing we'll talk about is, I know that we're recording this podcast a day before this happens, but tomorrow is the national protest of No King's Day. It is also 47's birthday, and they're throwing a parade that's supposed to be for the military, but let's be honest, we already really know what that parade is for.
Showboating.
We also came back to the LA protest of the ICE raids and all of that. One, look, I'm happy that people are standing up and exercising their constitutional right to protest, because that is our constitutional right. Don't let this administration and the people in it try to deter you from protesting, because that is your right to do so.
Just be safe about it. I mean, there was a Broward County sheriff just really using some incredible rhetoric to scare people from protesting, and to the point where he threatened death to people, and just,
which is wild. But yes, you have to be safe. You have to be cautious. A lot of people are wearing things on their face so that you can't identify them, because people like to use the internet to find out where you work and harass people or whatever the case may be. But also, if we don't protest, if we don't stand up against things, then that just lets them know that it's okay and that they can get away with more shit than they're already getting away with. And my God, are they getting away with some shit? The National Guard being called, the Marines.
not even California's National Guard.
Right. The Marines being called in. All of this seems utterly absurd to me, especially since this protest on a whole has been peaceful.
Right. And one of the things that Trump was asked in 2020 was if he would ever use the military against its own people, and he said no. And here we are, sending the military into zones to essentially, I don't even know what they're doing, if I'm being honest with you. Like, a lot, yes, there are rioters, can't talk today, that are doing no good. But I can guarantee you that's minimal amount of what is actually happening in protests.
And then, just like in 2020, which that bitch who I can't stand, and I can't think of her name right now, and I don't care to speak her name, to be honest with you, the press secretary was like,
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
that's not her.
Oh.
But I didn't like her either.
There's somebody after her?
No, well, I'm talking about President Girl.
Oh.
She said this won't be another 2020.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of words for her that are not appropriate for this podcast.
And so, 2020 is, they're referencing the BLM protests that we had. And a lot of those, there were a lot of bad faith actors. And by that, I mean people on the other side coming in and causing destruction and blaming it on the protesters to make it look like the protesters were rioters or causing destruction of their own property.
Yeah.
And
I mean, in 2020 alone, there was a protest here in Florida, here in Tampa, that destroyed a shopping complex. And I think once they did the investigation, I think 90% of the people that were there did not live in Tampa. They had come from elsewhere and were the ones creating the destruction. But of course, all we focused was on what happened versus the peaceful protests that had happened.
right.
And one more note, I'm sorry.
No.
They're also using currently 2020 propaganda
And video footage
and spreading it as it's happening currently, supposedly in LA.
It's annoying. This whole administration is annoying. It is utterly absurd, the things that are happening in this country. Our Attorney General, Pam Bundy, was asked...
What did you say?
Our Attorney General?
What's her name?
Pam Bundy?
Okay.
What did that say?
You said something else. I'm like, are you making fun of her?
I mean, she deserves to be made fun of.
She's a dumb bitch. I'm sorry. No offense to women out there, but she's a dumb bitch.
Right. Somebody asked her a question about the protests and everything that was going on.
It's great because I'm sorry to keep her, but her face, she was like, oh, yes. You can see her face. I'm excited for this question because the question was the current protests.
With people attacking police, as they say that
right.
That's what's happening.
And she liked it because she thought it was going to be in her wheelhouse.
Right.
But then they turned it and said, unlike the January 6th rioters, her face automatically just changed.
And then she just goes on to make some comment about these people, not the January 6th people, the people in LA that, we're doing everything, we're going to do everything we can to keep our military and our police safe, and we're going to stop these people. And I'm just like, look, I know y'all drunk the Kool-Aid, and I know that once you're team red, you team red till you're dead.
You're wearing the red shirt.
But I'm not team red. Don't get that twisted. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And one thing that y'all love to say is law and order. So if we're doing law and order, protesting is a right of the people. It's their constitutional right. And for you to say that you shouldn't be out here protesting because they're protesting ICE raids and you don't like the fact that they're protesting ICE raids, and then you label them as rioters instead of protesters, it's just wrong.
Yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of peaceful protests across our country at this point, and there'll be more this weekend. We're recording this before the big day. I don't know what to call it, but
I've already seen that Governor Abbott of Texas, the governor of Missouri, have already declared a state of national emergency and have called for the National Guard to be at the protest before the protest even starts.
I'm just like the hypocrisy of what's going on in politics right now is just far beyond anything I can comprehend. And people want to try to justify the actions that is going on from this administration and its minions. And you cannot justify them when we sit here and act like January 6th was okay. Police officers died. We destroyed government buildings. We broke into government offices. And for them, not us, for them to sit there and just say that this is different is really the ultimate case of hypocrisy.
It is hypocrisy.
If you really cared about protecting the police and the people, you wouldn't have let off the people from January 6th that broke into this building, harassed police officers, injured police officers, and killed police officers.
Yeah, because now the people that died there that day that were protecting the Capitol, you make their deaths look like it was meaningless because these people just came in and murdered them basically and got off scot-free for it now.
To the point where they want to pay them now. They want to pay them for their pain and suffering.
I don't have any words for people, one, that think that's okay, but also believe the big lie when everybody and their grandmama knows that you lost that election, but because you didn't want your ego to be bruised, you said they must have stolen it, and then people just ran with that shit. And I don't understand. I can, my mind cannot comprehend how you can believe that that election was stolen. And this man is sitting up here lying to you in your fucking face every day. He told you the first thing he's going to do is lower the groceries for you. Where are groceries at right now? Higher than they ever been.
And I told you this week, I'm like, I think I kind of noticed it this time.
Everybody was worried about the price of fucking eggs.
Don't know. Nobody talked about eggs.
No, nobody's talking about no eggs no more.
Maybe the normal people, you and I, the people that have to buy eggs. But there ain't no politician worried about your eggs.
Ain't nobody talking about no eggs. We got RFK Jr. getting rid of the vaccine board at the CDC. So now if there was a new virus that happens to come and take over, like we wouldn't even be prepared for it.
Would not be prepared for it.
Miss Department of Education doesn't know what AI is. She's calling it A1.
We're getting rid of the FEMA support.
Yes, he's after this hurricane season, we'll leave it to the states.
And states
does that fucking
states
mean?
do such a great job at managing.
Anyway,
I mean, we could be here all day about all the stuff that he's meteorologists, the national whatever the heck it's called, the meteorology department. Their funding has been cut. People have been let go. A meteorologist came out and said the resources are not there to accurately predict storms anymore. Like, we are literally just wanting the demise of the U.S., I guess.
And it will come. If y'all don't believe in climate change, which you don't, and you believe that the 2020 election was stolen from this man, climate change is going to show you that it's real. And then when you call for help, there ain't going to be no help because we don't have FEMA anymore.
And the funny part is most of the states that border
are red states. If y'all really want to play this game, they're red states that will be affected the most by hurricanes, also tornadoes.
And for those of you that say small government, let the states handle it, I'm like, all we need to do is reverse back to COVID and see how well states handled COVID. They couldn't do the vaccines right. They couldn't provide unemployment to the people that were unemployed correctly. Like, states are not handled or prepared to handle massive emergencies. And that's why you had federal agencies running them.
So I say all this to say, if there is a protest near you and you want to go, I don't want you to feel like you can't go because whatever. We just want you to be safe if you choose to do so. Do you have any other words on dumbass and his policies?
No, because I mean they're just steamrolling through our.
So I'm going to talk about another one that somebody else wants to get rid of. And it is the Southern Baptist Convention.
These motherfuckers.
So they are calling on politicians.
Well, they voted as a...
Yes. So they want to ban gay marriage. They want to get rid of trans acceptance. They want to ban pornography. They want to defund Planned Parenthood, and they want to get rid of IVF.
I thought we already defunded Planned Parenthood.
Well, maybe it's not defunded enough. They want to stomp it into the ground until it is no more. They also want to ban women pastors, or women from taking pastor positions.
Wow.
Within the church.
Their church.
Yes, their church.
Oh.
Well, maybe, who knows? Well, they want this for the rest of the nation, so maybe they want that for churches worldwide. I don't know.
I mean, they were one of the big advocates in getting rid of Roe versus Wade.
Yes. And they feel like they are at a place where they can do this because they feel like the party that is currently in charge of all three branches of government fall within where, they lie. And in the news report, they said it's about 13 million of them in the nation, even though their numbers are starting to drop. But they are trying to throw their weight around, sort of say, to get these things passed here in America. It is appalling to me that these people say that they believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ, because none of the things that you are doing, I believe that Jesus would want a hand in. Religion to me has always been a catalyst for control. It is do as I say, not as I do. We know plenty of church scandals all over this country and all over the world where people have been abused, people have been raped. It's like, you want to enforce this on everybody else's life. If this is the way you want to live, I don't have a problem with that. That is why we live in America. You have the freedom of choice to live that way. I don't agree with you trying to influence or put your beliefs on me that I need to live my life the way that you are living it. And if you really want to get real, this is the reverse gay agenda that y'all think that we are trying to force gayness on all of you. That's not what we're doing. It is simply the fact that we want to exist.
Yeah. I mean, I when I saw that, I was just like, wow, do you have nothing else as a congregation to worry about than banning gay marriage, getting rid of Planned Parenthood, getting rid of trans, what was it? Acceptance. Like,
and IVF.
I'm sitting here like, shouldn't you as a church, like, religion and me don't click. I'm sorry. I grew up in the church and I have very, very big feelings around religion, and no one will get me engaged again in religion. I refuse. I think it's a cult. If you need it for your faith and your belief system,
that's fine.
I support you in it. That's just my opinion. But to sit here and think about the amount of people that sleep outside, have no food, single mothers struggling with their kids, and you want to put so much weight behind things that don't affect you. And, we saw an interview on TikTok.
I was just about to say.
And the man asked him, so getting rid of gay marriage, how does this affect society?
And he says, I don't think it will affect society. It is just something like, it's a feeling more than anything. And I'm just like,
well, he then went on to talk about what we need to do is fix people's hearts and honor love. And I'm just like, so you have made the point that getting rid of gay marriage will not affect the church in any way. Mm-hmm. And then he went on to say that, people do the wrong things all the time. I'm like, sir, we're not breaking the fucking law, first of all. But it's just like, again, hypocrisy. Everything can be wrapped up with the word hypocrisy.
My thing is like, and we've said it on this podcast a million times, if something doesn't affect you, if something doesn't enter into your home, if something, like, you don't have to participate in it at all, why are you so bothered and why are you so wanting it to be erased? If you ain't gay, then you ain't gay.
If you don't want to get married with a man,
Then don't get married with the man.
You don't want to have sex with the same sex,
then don't do it. And don't worry about the people that out here that are doing it. They ain't in your house doing that. They're not at your job doing that. And if two people love each other and they're out in public, because we see people, straight people, show PDA in public all the fucking time. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't criticize two gay men holding hands or kissing, or two women, or whatever the case may be, in public holding hand and kissing, because we see that shit all the time with straight people.
All the time. It's just become a world hypocrisy. And I've said it on here 1,000 times. Like, if we were in a place in a world where everything was fixed,
then we could have debates about these
now
things.
we're nitpicking over stupid things.
Right. But we got a whole lot of shit that needs fixing that y'all ain't doing shit about.
No. And for those of y'all sitting around thinking that, Father 47 is getting your best interest, like, this big, beautiful bill is coming for you.
When they take away Medicaid from people,
when they take away your income-driven student loan payments from you,
when they strip away certain healthcare benefits from you, when your medication, when you got to decide between your food and your medication and which one you gonna put on Klarna, maybe y'all will get it then. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll still be touting that this is the best president you've ever had in your entire fucking life. I don't understand it. It's not for me.
I saw an article, Cubans in South Florida stay loyal to Trump but question his immigration stance.
You're stupid. The man told y'all to get the fuck out, and he meant it, and you still gonna rock with him. I just don't understand it. My mind is not set up like that. My loyalty is not set up like that. I just don't see it.
My life is set up for, I'm minding my business. You ain't doing something that's hurting me or anybody around you. I don't care.
All of these Cubans, Venezuelans for Trump, and they steadily deporting you. Now there's a fly ban, so you can't even fly here no more. At what point do you realize that he don't want you? He wanted you for your vote, and then after he got that, you could just
Isn't
get
that what a dictator does, right? They get you to believe in what they want, and then they still get rid of you because you're not used to them anymore.
He said you only got to vote for me one time, and then you ain't got to worry about it no more. And he was right, because y'all voted for him, and you won't vote for him not now again because you won't be in this country.
I wouldn't be surprised if gay marriage is overturned within the next 2 years.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
And I said that so seamlessly, and I don't say it seamlessly because I don't care. I know, like, I thought Roe versus Wade would never get overturned.
A lot of people thought that.
And if that was overturned so easily because a church system advocated for it, you sure as hell can expect gay marriage to be overturned. And,
and anything else that the church doesn't like.
And I don't know if that's, I know people are religious, but I don't know that religion should be dictating how every singular person lives.
Because then we're right back in fucking England where we fucking started. Because the whole reason we came here was for religious freedom. Right?
Sure. I don't remember. I'm sure it had something to do with taxes as well.
Yes, I'm sure it has something to do with that, and we don't want your fucking tea. But the ability for you to come here and practice whatever religion that you want to.
Listen, we might as well just take the Statue of Liberty down.
Look, France said they want it back anyway.
We should return it because we're not living by it.
And there you have it. I'm going to leave it at that before I get any angrier.
I'm just going to say, in this month of Pride.
It is Pride Month, y'all. Happy Pride.
Even though you may not know, it is Pride Month. I just hope that members from our community continue to live authentically themselves, especially our members of the trans community who are just consistently picked on for no fucking reason besides they're an scapegoat to what's happening in our world. Like, it's easy to place blames, right? You like, it's like the whole squirrel thing. Squirrel, Like you say, oh, they're taking away your Medicaid, and then they'll say, but trans people.
What does that have to do with anything?
Trans people have done nothing to you.
Not a thing. Trying to exist. That's it.
I just hope everybody continues to live authentically themselves. And, our reach is not huge on this podcast, but if I can say one thing is that members of our community, the LGBTQ plus community, needs to stop with the hate within our own community of people that are different. And if they pertain to a different letter of the LGBTQ plus, you need to get your ass together. Because if we're against each other, it makes it harder for us to fight the people that are truly against us. And I've seen so much trans hate lately, bisexual hate. I'm like, we're all part of the same community.
We're all part of the same community.
Just because you're a gay man does not make you any better than a lesbian. It doesn't make you any better than a trans person.
And at the end of the day, despite what is in your head or in between your legs, we all human. And I feel like we all need to start showing each other a little more empathy. I feel like empathy is slowly being eroded and lost in this country. We don't have the empathy for anything or anybody.
Yeah. All I can say is our members of the LGBTQ plus community during Pride Month, please think about it. Speak to somebody that might be different from you in the community. Understand their walk of life, because damn well your walk of life is not easy either. And let's band together as a community so we can face the exterior factors, such as the Southern Baptist Church, that wants to erode us little by little. And to our members of disenfranchised communities, Black and brown communities, our Latino Americans, our immigrants, let's all fight for each other, because the people that are fighting against us are just scared of the differences that we hold within ourselves. And that's the only thing I have come to the conclusion through my thought process, is that people fear differences.
Yeah.
And that's why we pick on each other. So happy Pride. Go out there, live your authentic life. I haven't been engaged in anything in Pride. Well, we went to Mighty Hoopla. That counts.
Yeah. It does.
I guess St. Pete Pride is later this month. Maybe we'll go to the parade. But do what you can do. Please unite as a community. Stop, at least within our community, stop hating on the other letters of our community, because it's just sickening to me. Sickening. There's enough people that hate us already. There's enough people that hate minorities already. Why are we hating each other? That's another thing. We're going so long. Why are minorities hating on other minorities? Why are Cubans mad with Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, and then there's the side of the red team and the side of the blue team. We're all different, and they don't give a shit about us. They don't. Sit down and listen to what they're doing. Sit down, truly listen to what they're doing. Stop listening to Fox News and do some real fucking research. I've said it on here 1,000 times. Project 2025 was so real, and you didn't fucking read it, and it's happening. And anything that surprises you from it is just your own arrogance of not being knowledgeable. And that's the end of our podcast for today. We mixed a little fun with a little seriousness. We got to. The times, it's the times we live in.
It is.
But if you are new here and would like to continue following us, you can do MASXP23 on Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok, and also YouTube.
Yes, we are on YouTube. And you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mannyandShawn@gmail.com. And
sounds like a Florida storm is on its way.
Per usual, right on schedule.
But take care of yourself out there because nobody else gives a fuck about us. So take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, check in on your friends. You know, not to keep talking, I feel like Pride this year has been a very down month for people. Even though people are still going out and celebrating, it's just people are like, what are we celebrating? When we just see every day something else being torn away.
That's true, but we celebrate Pride because it gives us recognition, and it reminds us that there are people out here that care about you and care about each other, and it gives people a space to realize that.
And no, you don't need straight pride. Straight pride is every day.
Yes, we don't need that. But if y'all want to throw yourselves a barbecue on a Sunday, I don't give a shit. And
Yeah,
I'm not going to be there, so whatever.
Trump throwing
Do
himself
you,
a
boo?
whole military parade at your expense.
I will not be watching that.
And you're concerned about tax monies going places. But
You know he got booed at the Kennedy Center, and I lived.
yeah, JD Vance went on a rant, but that's for another day. Thank you for joining us on this episode and our new alternate schedule as we continue our podcasting life. Take care of yourself and do something good for yourself.
And then do something good with someone else.
And we will catch you on the next.
Bye.